Powering a Greener Future. Introduction. Scientists have been trying to find environmentally friendly ways of producing electricity for many years. They have already found many ways, but something they haven't found is how to make electricity accessible for everyone. Currently, it is very expensive or secluded to wealthy areas. The purpose of this project is to create a simple, affordable, and environmentally friendly way of generating electricity that can be incorporated into these places. Question. Is it possible to generate electricity in an environmentally friendly way, applying it in developing countries and everyday places? The hypothesis was that if a circuit was created that had a couple of piezoelectric elements attached to it, then it would produce a very small amount of electricity, and it would show how this could be applied on a larger scale. The materials required for this experiment are 1 breadboard, 4 diodes, 2 piezo elements, 1 capacitor, 2 alligator clips, 3 breadboard jumper wires, 1 multimeter, and 1 LED, which is 5 volts. This is the procedure. The observations. Analysis. So what did I learn? Firstly, the harder the element was hit, the more energy it produced, because the crystal inside was receiving more stress from the metal plates. Secondly, holding the element down did not produce any electricity because the crystal was not receiving any mechanical stress. Finally, if the piezoelectric element was not hit over a period of time, the capacitor would start to lose electricity, because a capacitor does not have perfect insulation and has a non-infinite resistance. As a result, it acts as a very high resistance across the terminals, causing the capacitor to lose energy. So what was found? It was found that with a single element, not a lot of electricity was produced. Approximately 0.001 volts were made with a single tap, which is 52 to 55 newtons. However, triple that number was made with 2 sensors. Using the data from the 1-minute test with a single sensor, it would take about 15 minutes to produce 1 volt of electricity, while only 8 minutes with 2 sensors. Using the data collected, it was predicted that with 5 sensors, 1.58 volts of electricity would be generated in 1 minute. Additionally, I was able to light up the 5-volt LED with the electricity that I generated over time. So how could this experiment be improved? A larger output for the energy created could have been attached to demonstrate how this project may be used practically. More piezoelectric sensors could have been added to generate more electricity, power the output for longer, and demonstrate how it would have been used in the real world, including human testing. Multiple types of piezoelectric sensors could have been tested to see which had the better output. Having more advanced materials would have made the experiment better functioning. This shows that this can be applied on a larger scale, but how will it be implemented? Conclusion. The results from this experiment did support the hypothesis. It was found that the circuit did produce small amounts of electricity because only 2 elements were used. The sensors are small in size, and no additional changes were made to amplify the generated electricity. To generate 1 volt of electricity, it would take almost 8 minutes of continuous tapping on 2 sensors. However, the results of this experiment did help understand how these can be used on a larger scale. The purpose of this innovation was to allow everyone to get electricity in a simple way, while making it environmentally friendly. This will be implemented in developing countries where getting electricity can be difficult. Discussion. This system can be applied wherever there's a significant amount of kinetic energy, for example, roads, sidewalks, roofs, etc. Renewable energy is becoming a huge part of our lives, and piezoelectric materials are a low-cost and effective way that does not hinder the lives of humans and animals. The use of these sensors will still encourage the use of other environmentally friendly sources. They will also not replace these sources, rather incorporate them where there is no electricity or harmful methods of generating electricity are used. A material such as polyvinylidene fluoride can be used to harvest electricity from rain. Putting this in a mat or a box form will allow the required electrical system to go underneath. The electricity that is made can either go directly into the house or be stored in a battery or a capacitor. If the energy is stored in a battery, this will reduce battery waste, further helping the environment. This project is important because 16% of the world's population does not have electricity. A lot of electricity production helps worsen climate change, so it is important that this is implemented in those countries. This innovation must be approved by the government of that country in order for it to be implemented. A secondary app or website can be created for funding and awareness to motivate people to create their own innovations. It can also be implemented into our everyday items. This innovation can be implemented into keyboards, mouses, tablets, etc., as there's a significant amount of kinetic energy being created. The energy can be used to create self-power technology. Thank you for listening.